And welcome in everybody to another week of EGF. This is week 15 brought to you by Intel. And tonight it's myself and Time going to be bringing you the first game, which is St. Peter's University versus Villanova. And both these teams, still trying to find their feet, still trying to do what they want to do. But in the end, this one is probably going to be pretty close as Villanova, as we said, still trying to find their legs. St. Peter's, again, they are also on a bit of that struggle train. But with that being said, these two teams have been preparing all week and they're ready to play games.
They are, but you talking about the struggle train. I think that's unfortunately a little bit of an understatement. I like to. The issue between these two teams is that they've had some difficulties, and that those some difficulties mean not winning a single map between either of them since the start of the spring split. And Villanova
Ooh.
hasn't won a single map at all throughout the season. So see that at face value. I think this is going to be a close game because of that. I think it's going to be a really close one depending on their play styles. Maybe we see somebody take a little bit of an early advantage, but it's going to be a massive challenge for somebody to really roll over the other.
Yeah, I mean for sure, especially with the map pool that we have tonight. We've got Nepal, Kings Row, Hanamura, Dorado, Lijiang. These maps lean more towards a bit of a bloodier play style, especially for
Hmm.
both of these teams. I think you're going to see a lot of, especially me and you tonight. We're going to see a lot of sloppy fights, and that is more predicated towards the map style, not necessarily because of the quality of the teams. Yes, we went over it, but you're gonna have a lot of brawl on Nepal. You're gonna have maybe a
Hmm.
lot of fair gameplay on Nepal. There's a lot of different options for Nepal, and that's kind of what I'm getting at right now, where both these teams could choose to go in any different direction that they want.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm observing this and I almost lost my mind because the game froze for a second. But I think we're good, at least hopefully. I can't. This thing's playing with my heartstrings. But looking at this game, do you have any predictions? Do you have any expectations coming into this? Because I always like to do expectations and to see who's really going to take some control. But it's a challenge to get because you never really know who's going to take that obvious early advantage.
Yeah, tough one to call. I'll be honest. A little bit. I love Villanova basketball, so that's kind of why I'm like leaning towards Villanova. I know it sounds weird to say it like that, but I think Villanova's got a really good shot here, but it won't be easy. At no point do I think they're going to 3-0 this one. I'm thinking this is going to be 3-1, 3-2. Could go either way, but I'm just more in the Villanova camp. I've seen a little bit more from Villanova. I've seen some from Blue Falcon, a little bit from Nate the Cat. Last time I did see them, they were the victims of, I do believe it was like Arlington or something. And so, one of them being one of the top 5 teams, kind of a tough showing. Um, but Blue Falcon and Happy Sparrow both respectively impressed me. So that's why I'm leaning that way.
Yeah, I'm all right. So you remember how I was talking about Overwatch kind of dying?
It does have a tendency, yes.
Yeah, so Overwatch just kind of died. So we're gonna take a minute to get into the game. I think they just realized that I am no longer in the game, so I'm getting back in. Apologies for that one.
No
Um,
worries.
I don't know if they are in. Hello, question mark. Are we in lobby?
There it
Ah,
is. Hopefully, we're already in the middle of it.
we're a couple seconds in. Give me a second to, configure some things because it's currently losing its mind. Mainly my CPU, and I can't figure out why. But that's perfectly fine. I love when things don't work properly. It's usually a very, very high like priority of mine for things to just not function. You
Well,
remember that how it
I
was?
tell you what. Here's what I'll do for you. Right, I went with Villanova,
Hmm.
and I've said why. Let me go into the St. Peter's version of this
Okay.
tale and how they take over this game. Okay, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at St. Peter's. Nobody's got wins. Everybody's struggling, or everybody's struggling. Right. St. Peter needs to come out with some kind of curveball. They need to come out and play a little bit of a different style than they have been playing because they have been trying to do what they need to do over the course of this entire season, however long this season has been for them, and it hasn't seemed to not necessarily work. But what I would like to see is for them to bring that zany pick. That's something that they obviously the other team would never practice for, would never see coming. The only thing I can think of is like Genji and stuff.
Okay. I think Genji's a decent pick in this situation, but you can't oversend it. I think that's the
Right.
main issue. You don't want to push yourself too far into a situation where you are relying on that Genji pick because Genji's nice. But you have to have somebody who's very, very good on it in order to carry you in the way I think you're trying to go with. And I'm gonna be real with you, I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Listen, I believe in the DPS from St. Peter's. Okay,
Okay.
I am a believer, just like the Justin Biebers of the world have their Bieber fans. That's how deep I am in the belief of the DPS over there. But it's never only on the DPS, is it? Right? Anything, the Widow, the Genji, these teams need to set up for their DPS, and the top teams do that. You think of Cloud with Maris. Cloud comes to mind because that guy always popping off, always having a great game, but it's due to the fact that the supports and the tanks make so much space and do such a great job that he's allowed to pop off on either Cassidy, Soldier, whatever they're playing, right? Even the Pharah. I believe that these teams can do that. They just have not unlocked or stepped through that door yet. And when they do, is when a lot of this, struggle train, struggle bus, whatever you want to say,
Mhm.
that's when all that starts to go away and they start to figure out exactly what it takes to start winning. And that's what a lot of these teams still haven't been able to do is just figure out how to close the deal. Because a lot of these teams are competitive. Arlington won. They took them to Hanamura, which yes, it was a 3-0 sweep,
Mhm.
but it was way more competitive than you would think, having a 4-3 map state at the end of Hanamura. So these teams can't compete with the top fives. It's just they don't know how to close, and that's what we're looking to see in a lot of these games when it's similar competition. Who's going to be the one to step up and make the play and close out the game?
I think your answer there is going to be St. Peter's. I think they have a little bit of an advantage just because they have yet to lose a game, at least thus far
Right.
in like the earlier part of the season. Remember, they are what we talked about it 6-7, 7-8. Is my math right?
Yeah.
I think it's 7-8. So just looking at that purely as we get into the game. Apologies for that one, by the way. As we get into the game, I want to get your opinion. What do they need to win? What does Villanova need to pull this one off? Because it's certainly easier said than done. That's one
Yeah.
thing for sure. But what is the thing that they really need to show they can do?
Okay. First of all, I know everyone's looking at me kind of sideways because I picked Villanova to win this, but like I said, I still believe in St. Peter's DPS. I still believe in all that. But for Villanova, it's about the teamwork. That's the major thing. It's the coordination, teamwork. They are always one step off of what the other person's doing, whether it be a good play and someone's on the back foot, not ready to capitalize, or maybe someone gets a little overzealous before the team's ready. That's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. And especially, after preparation all week, coming into this, both these teams have been hyped and they knew who their opponent was going to be. So you got to be thinking that they have a special plan for Villanova and St. Peter's, respectively, to go against each other here as they meet up in the middle. It is going to be that Reinhardt comp with Tyler and Myfris on the Reinhardt. So they're going to be looking to poke and prod a little bit, especially with the Hanzo and the Cassidy. They don't want to be taking anything too quickly, especially since they have point control right out the gate. They're going to be looking to make that monkey commit, especially on low health. That's going to burn a lot more time. But they are building that nano very quickly. Hunter going to have that coming online, and that's probably their main game plan for this first fight. Let them get a couple ticks, find an angle in, but a very nice ante. That could be the go button. Dragon has already been built up on the side of Villanova. You'd love to see that, especially from the Hanzo building up that quick. And that's what I was talking about. Sellout, going to get sold out right there, back to spawn. But the Shatter's going to come through. Ooh, that's 5 on the ground, and the cleanup's going to come through. St. Pierre's, the game plan worked to perfection, and Sellout made the space, and they capitalized right away. That is awesome.
I think that is the greatest shatter I've seen in a couple weeks. In all fairness, we did only have 2 games last week, but all of them fall down, at least all the ones that were alive, fall down in a single shatter. Nachos builds up the replication and then builds up the shatter almost immediately. Of course, it does help that the replication kind of full sends it. But an amazing play nonetheless. I got to give it to him. Well done to create that space, and from the side no less. They went out of their way and made sure they did not get in front of them before, oversending the shatter. You saw the Reinhardt create the space and then create the shatter and then slam probably one of the better shatters we're going to see throughout the season on, ironically, someone who's not playing a tank.
Yeah, to your point, not even a tank player, right? Amazing job by Nachos building that up so quickly, just as fast as Blue Falcon. Special shout out to Blue Falcon, called that earlier. Got to the dragon, which is pretty rare to see on Echoes, right? That's pretty high level stuff for an Echo to build that as quickly as a Hanzo. But it goes to the point, right? Hunter builds up that nano, sends Sellout in, gives them the nano boost, forces the ammo out, forces the pressure out, and then Nachos capitalizes on a really nice flank shatter coming from the sky. Uh, I think you nailed it on the head. They definitely had a game plan. Both teams had a game plan, and they both actually executed very well. We had the pause come in at 35% and 14, respectively, for St. Peter's as it's ticking up. But I tell you what, Villanova does have a DC. That's where the pause came in. A little bit of a DC from one of the Villanova players. Um, but Villanova did a great job of taking point control and milking that for all it was worth. It's only a matter of time, realistically, until that Echo and the DPS for St. Peter's comes online and finds a different angle for those ults to ring true.
Yeah, I think you really want to see Nate the Cat create a little bit more space on that Cassidy, because if you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at Nate the Cat, you need to be doing a bit more. You have the flash to maybe jump at the monkey, maybe jump at the diva and say, "Hey, let's go hop on someone." Somebody needs to be that target in this situation, and we just have not seen that just yet. I think that's one of the main
Right.
issues we're seeing on this Villanova side, and one of the main issues we've seen throughout the season. I know I've been sitting back in the production booth just observing, but they
Right.
haven't really created a lot of space for themselves, not only in this game, but a lot of their other games as well. And I think that's really been their downfall, where you cannot create space. And in that case, you're not going to have the space to work with, and teams are going to jump all over you like St. Peter's just did. I'm a little bit surprised we did not see the monkey jump in a little bit quicker. Yeah, we saw the monkey take a bit of space earlier on in that fight, but it was really up to Nachos getting everyone off of the back of a nice anti, by the way, from Hunter. Well done, but again, it was a little painful to see because it just took way too long to put together on this St. Peter side. It took 35 seconds of Villanova having the point for them to put together that alt usage.
Yeah, and crucial percentage going over in favor of Villanova, right? That is a huge boon for them coming into this second fight. It is going to be kind of a crucial one as ults are coming online for both teams. If they can get pretty good value out of just this high noon and shut down Ratchet and the Valkyrie coming out, it would be a huge deal for Villanova in their process of retaking this point. But we're going to have to see how they want to play it as another great anti comes through and is immediately capitalized on by Sellout and by Halston. They did not even stop to think what that purple meant because they knew what it meant and they jumped right on him.
Talk about jump right on him. Sellout decided, oh, I'm going to jump right on Zenz, who will fall in the end. It does turn out to be a team kill at the conclusion of the fight, and St. Peter's are starting to double up Villanova. This is not looking good for the Nova squad. They need this round. They need something in this map because they need an entry point. They haven't had an entry point to this season, much less this map, and with ultimates being available on both sides, it's going to be a challenge to put this together. Nacho has that replication yet again. We'll see if it does come through. In goes the Shatter, but you'll see them put together everything on this Villanova side. Nate the Cat gets a nice one, but they need to work off of this.
Yeah, and as long as they don't invest this Diva Bomb, they should have a chance in the next fight as well. But they are going to need to start capitalizing on that Shatter and some of these kills that range true. I do love that the Diva went right into the face of the duplication, sacrificing mind and body in order to keep the rest of the team alive, and is going to end up working out to a degree. But the percentage is still with St. Peter's. They're not giving this up for nothing, as Nate the Cat, to your point, trying to hold it down. But now the visor's going to come down, and bullets are raining hell as everybody seems to be dropping left, right, and center. Bomb's not going to find anyone, and just a Diva on the point, not going to be enough. It is only Doom left, and now no one else can touch. St. Peter's did a great job wrapping that round up, using those ults how they needed to.
You know, I gotta backtrack just a little bit on my opening statement. You remember how I said they took way too long? I think that was really their best part of that round.
Yep.
They took a little bit of time and they built some ultimates and then immediately decided, oh, we're going to be able to push off of this. That's exactly what they did. They created so much space for themselves and they created an ultimate economy. That's one thing I think a lot of teams don't favor enough in these games is an ultimate economy. Because of the
Yep.
fact that, well, look at exactly what Nova just did. They threw 4 ultimates into the exact same fight, albeit it took them forever to put that one together. That was one of the main ones you had to point out. And then when you take too long to put fights like that together, they can just snowball and or they can just stall. That time it stalled. St. Peter's did exactly what they needed to do on that defensive side of a control point, no less, and locked it down 100 to 35 in round numero uno, going the way of St. Peter's. And now they need to build off of this. They need to make sure it's a 2-0. They need to give themselves some momentum as we start up our second round.
Yep, starting up the second round, and Doom is waiting for not me nor you. Going to go straight into the middle of that fight, get a big ton of shield there, as Nachos is feeling pretty good. Going to be looking to do it all over again. No stun's going to come through as the shields save their life and keep them nice and healthy. Tracer doing their best. Nate the Cat trying to keep themselves alive. Immo's going to do a great job of helping there. But now the pressure's back on Villanova. They have to back off as the point flops in favor of St. Peter's. No one has gone down just yet besides Sellout, but was resurrected right away. But now Tyler's in trouble on that Baby Diva. Gonna be a bailed out just a little bit, but the Shatter gonna come through for Villanova. That's a big one, as it's gonna lead to the team wipe as the rest of the squad fills up the point and starts to flip. And there it is. Villanova finds their way into the fight, taking their time and making it look good.
That's exactly what this Villanova side needed. They don't drop as much, albeit 13% is really not that much of a margin between the two rounds. But hey, 13% may be that difference between seeing overtime and seeing a round win. We'll see if they can build off of this. Nacho building up a punch, and it just does nothing. I think he was just trying to get out to the side. Actually, there was a Tracer just chilling there. Tracer's hiding, and in goes the Nano onto Salot, who does not have the Mega Monkey, but in goes a Meteor Strike. It will find one, and they collapse. They make it work, and they take this point so quickly. Down go Villanova.
You know, it's funny. I really like. I like that you did that. Yeah, I like that you did that. But the biggest thing there is Nachos finds Lucio as he's ulting, so it cancels out.
What?
Beat. Oh my goodness! That poor Lucio loses. Poor Sparrow, not going to be able to find that beat, which is what the team was banking on to pull that fight through. And the fact that they took it out of commission just leads now into such a difficult fight for this one. They're just going to have to barrel in on a dry fight. Hope they can draw some ultimates out from Halstan, from Ratchet, from anybody, from Hunter. But Hunter doesn't even have Nano online, so that would be quite the feat if they did pull that off right here, as he does build to it quite quickly. Other members of Villanova are falling quite steadily, and that's kind of what you would expect to see in a dry fight just like that.
Yeah, there's another pause coming through for the Villanova side. Unfortunately, the Lucio, who was so rudely taken out in their previous engagement, DC'd yet again. A little bit of a difficult situation for Nova. I think connection issues are something that is just part of the game, and sometimes you have to work around it, but it's always unfortunate. You always feel for a team that's having connection issues while still being close in this game. They are not out of this one by any means. They are still keeping themselves in contention here, but they're slowly losing it. Look at Ratchet. Has the Tac Visor. Sellout has the Mega Monkey, has Primal Rage. Halston has the Diva Bomb. That thing gonna go boom above you if you don't pay attention to it enough. And my first, unfortunately, just has not had the ability to get in proper positioning thus far, other than that first fight here in our second round. And past that, you're not seeing much great for Villanova between either round.
Incredibly tough for Villanova to find any kind of catch out with these ultimates besides maybe the Shatter that would come through or maybe a surprising window. But if you're looking at Villanova, in about 25 seconds, it's going to be checkmate, especially if they only need to use Hunter's Nano in the next upcoming fight and or just one of the other ultimates to slow them down. If you only have to invest 1 to 2 ultimates on the side of St. Peter's in this upcoming team fight, you basically have a checkmate scenario for Villanova when they come back through the doors, because almost guaranteed Villanova's going to throw an ult or two at this fight, trying to win it. And with the Diva Bomb and or window, hopefully they only burn one and can get maybe 2 in response, because then that will give them the door opening for the, basically final fight. Other than that, you're going to have trickling coming in after that. So Villanova's got to be thinking 2 fights ahead now. Not just this next fight, but the next fight coming up. How do we want to invest? And as we've seen from Villanova in the past, this is when they're at their weakest. When they're at their strongest is when they're comfortable, when they know exactly what they need to do. But this is multiple choice options right now, and we've seen Villanova struggle in multiple choice scenarios.
I think they should be flourishing in multiple choice scenarios. Multiple choice is the greatest possible question to be answered for the sole reason that, yes, it is.
I love it.
I will not be taking questions either. And think about it. So if you're in these situations, you have very few options if you're Villanova.
Right.
Their options currently lie between win a fight, win another fight, or lose the game.
Right.
if I had to guess, they want to pick between A and B, just between those two because C's a really depressing
I
scenario.
mean, if we're talking maximum efficiency, I'm on board.
Maximum efficiency. What's that from? What game? Do you know? You have any
Oh,
idea?
it's not maximum overdrive. I know that. I
No.
just I have no idea. Maybe Duke
No.
Nukem? Exactly. I nailed it. Go ahead and put it in the chat, guys. Nailed that one.
Yeah, okay. Well, don't inflate his ego. He can't handle that. He'll go boom. By the time you
It's
see
true.
him on camera, his green screen is going to be less green. But
Oh,
go
tragic.
Yeah, I know, right? Going into this going into the rest of this round and possibly the rest of this game, assuming that we see a third round, which at this point I really don't think we will. I think Villanova need to hold W. I'm not usually a catalyst of holding W in a lot of these rounds, but they need to send Tyler in with that Diva Bomb. They need to create so much space for that, even if you don't get a kill. I don't care if you don't get a kill. It's not going to get you very far if you do or don't. One kill is great, but you also have the res on the other side. So see that as you will. Unfortunately, the Baptiste, it's not the composition that I think you need. Yeah, the immortality field is cool, but you're not going to use the amplification matrix much unless you put Blue Falcon and Zens behind it, and even then you're not
Mhm.
creating enough space for you. So that's the challenge you're running into. There's a lot of them, to say the least.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point of how Zen's window is kind of inefficient. But that being
Mhm.
said, this is what you're talking about with Tyler's bomb. Yeah, I would say Tyler's bomb is going to be more of a distraction
Yeah.
than anything. Don't get me wrong; it can find kills, especially if someone's caught off guard, uses cooldowns, all that jazz. But in most of these scenarios, people are going to position in a way where they can drop down, get behind cover, whatever. Really, what you want to do with that bomb is make the space that he's talking about so that you can get some effective use out of that window. Yeah, you might only throw a fire strike or a couple shots from Cassidy through, but for the most part, you're just going to push right through your own window once you have the space anyway. So use the Diva Bomb, get the space, have Cassidy and Reinhardt sit behind that window as soon as it goes down, use the cooldowns, and then go on to point. That's what your comp's good at. That's where you want to be. You do not want to be fighting out in the open where you guys can get split up. That's all St. Peter's wants you to do. They want you to come through a tight choke into an open space. You want to go from open space into a tight choke. That's what you want. So it's all about making space to get to that point, and I think Diva Bomb is a great way to do it.
Especially with their comp. You're talking about getting into those tight spaces. You're seeing both teams with a relatively close contention point between them. You can see Ratchet has the tack visor available. Soldier is kind of nuts close range if you hit your shots. But past that, you're looking at maybe Doomfist is okay, but Doomfist can easily be shut down by the flash from Blue Falcon or just Nate the Cat jumping around them with the different teleports.
Mm-hmm.
Sellout is good for close range, but not good enough to make it a very, very good scenario for them. You're really looking at the advantage going to Villanova in that case. And as I believe, hopefully, we get into game. Yes, sorry about that. We are having a sub. Taiga is coming into the game mid-match. St. Peter's is very nice and saying, hey, you're good to do it. As we end our pause, Taiga does pop in. I believe they're going to pop on to that Lucio. Yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, there's been some connection issues, not only with connecting their shots, but connecting to the server.
Bit of a zinger there. I kind of dig it. I do. I kind of dig it. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, and Taiga has been naturally a DPS player for this team, so you'll still get the accuracy. I think off the Lucio, especially with the DPS
Oh!
play. But Nacho's gonna go ahead and put an end to whatever I was just talking about, as the Doomfist goes right in and wrecks the plans of Villanova. And good news for all you St. Peter's fans out there: no ults needed to be used in that fight. So the checkmate scenario that I was mentioning before, full effect. Every ultimate online except for Valkyrie.
Yeah, but on the other side, four of the six ultimates are available. In goes one of them. In goes that Diva Bomb you're going to see. It doesn't create as much space as it probably should have. In goes the missiles. The Helix missile are going to find one. In goes Nachos with another. They're going to try and find as much as they can. You can see Tac Visor being thrown in by Ratchet. This round seems all but over. In goes the Diva Bomb to create even more space, but that will be it. The Tracer is the last one alive here for the Villanova side, but there's no hope for this one. The opener will go the way of St. Peter's. They will take Nepal in a 2-0, 100, 135 35 fashion.
Yeah, and quite honestly, to be expected from St. Peter's in that scenario. We're going to see Nachos, I think, with this Reinhardt chatter. Let's
Oh
go
yeah.
ahead and see what it is. Absolutely, and this was the off angle we were just talking about.
Oh.
Beautiful play. You got to love it. It's always going to be a nice highlight reel for Nachos and St. Peter's. Love, love, love. But that's the checkmate scenario I was talking about earlier, where they have to walk through an open space. There's only so much the window and Diva Bomb can do. They can't cut off every angle, and there we saw St. Peter's take them apart in the rotation. And that it is what it is. And I think Villanova gave it a good old college try, trying to get through that choke and run to that point as fast as they could. But the Doomfist, the Diva, Monkey made it almost impossible for those supports to get through unscathed. And once everybody started falling, I mean, 1, 2, 3, everything just falls apart.
I gotta give it. I gotta give it to him. High
Yeah.
five, like in a glaring fashion. High five to St. Peter's for creating as much space as they did. You usually don't use a Doomfist to do so, but when a Doomfist just comes in, takes out a player, and then runs away and gets out unscathed, it's such a challenge for you to put a fight together in that situation because you can't do anything. What are you
Yeah.
going to do? You're down either support or DPS, or in that case, both. You lost another one just 4 seconds later, and there was no way out other than backing out. And that's sometimes
Yeah.
what you have to do. You have to wave the white flag. I know this is NA, but, we resemble French all the time in their cuisine. Why not forfeit some fights
It's a
as
bit
well?
of that je ne sais quoi, a little bit. I don't know what. Yeah, I agree. I think St. Peter's knows exactly what they want to do in that comp. We'll get to see what they want to do next on King's Row if they want to do the double bubble, the Winston and the Diva dive, a little bit of a Winston rush maybe. Maybe they just go straight up brawl with the Reinhardt and Diva, combo. The options are so open for them. It's not even funny. But on the side of Villanova, man, we saw the Reinhardt comp. I would love to see them shake it up a little bit. I said that maybe St. Peter's would have to throw a little bit of a curveball here because both teams were prepping all week for each other, and maybe they thought they were getting a little too stagnant. But no, I think that they can go ahead and stick to standard. Whatever they want to run, they can do. They're setting the tone and they're setting the pace.
We're going to say Bastion. I'll give you a hint. Villanova is starting on the attack.
Okay.
So, are we going to see Bastion?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Villanova, especially from what I've seen from them, they definitely like to run standard. They want to get better at it, and this whole season is about them getting better at this kind of stuff. They don't have a ton of competitive experience, and by that I mean like EGF, Rose Cup, whatever it would be. They don't have a ton of that experience.
Mhm.
So what they're trying to do with this is they're trying to figure it out. And I think these kind of games where it's close-ish, and you don't just start swapping to cheese. I don't think you do that.
Aw. Well, that's depressing. I would have loved
Everyone
to see
loves
Bastion.
cheese.
Everyone loves everyone. I like to love everybody equally, but Bastion has my heart for the sole reason that just sitting a turret on top of somebody's head is both comedic and ironically extremely effective. Um,
Yeah.
I want to know, just somebody tell me really quick who came up with the whole, hey, let's put a teleporter and a turret on top of a head. Just someone.
I
I want
think
to
it,
Google that one.
I think it was some guru somewhere that was wise beyond their years. I think that's who it was. Just some legend amongst men. But now we get to see what Villanova has to say about these comps coming through, as we do get to see the Reinhardt matchups with the Divas. So we are running pretty standard here on King's Row. No Zarya play. A little sad about that. I always like to see a bit of a Zarya carry, but she's fallen out of favor in recent months. But now we get to see the solo hold by Sellout here in the front lines. Maywall's going to come out, make a nice little bit of space, cut off some angles. Halstan is the first one to find that ammo field, but Tyler's going to be the first one DMAC. So the Diva battle goes the way of St. Peter's right away, and that's going to be a little bit more time for them to find an angle. Nice wall to keep them alive,
No.
but Nate the Cat got booped up into the sky. Already a dragon from Nachos, so Villanova is going to have to be pushed out just a little bit as St. Peter's is doing a great job to say that. Zen finds Hunter on the backside and get Trance going to be infested, and that's going to be the go button for Villanova. They have no effort here. They just walked right through the point using that Transcendence to get him there.
Yeah, a little bit of a thrown away fight, I think, for St. Peter's. They had a good start to it, but Ratchet tried to oversend for the wall. Nachos already used the dragon, but in all fairness, they almost have another one. It's not the end of the world. I will give them that. They are still very much in this. Of course, Streets phase is very defender-sided if you play it properly, and they are already here. You're going to see them create a lot of space. There goes the Fire Strike to create some of that space, but they need to play close range, and they cannot give away a lot of this damage, nor a lot of ult charge, because they're just feeding. At this point, if you just sit there as Ryan, you are feeding. You need to get close range. In goes yet another dragon, but that's not going to create as much space as they would like. In goes another immortality field, and finally you're seeing this Villanova side be put back.
Yeah, and Villanova's got a crucial fight coming up, and they shut down that shadow right away, which is fantastic. Window's going to be committed right off the back of it. Trying to find value where none was for the Reinhardt sellout going down that early is going to make this a breeze in Streets phase as they come barreling through. Hunter going to be put on the back foot. Zenyatta going to find the kill on the back side. So they just keep knocking them down one by one. And these fights are crucial for St. Peter's to try to hold on to, because Streets phase is where you can burn a ton of time.
And they just have not. That opening fight was not as long as they wanted. You saw, well, there's the Blizzard. In it will go, but in goes everyone. Myfris finds one. In goes the shots from Nachos, trying to find as much as he can find. Finds one, but that's all he'll get, and away go Villanova. Finally some space created, some time taken off the clock, and a little bit of damage done over top of it. Nachos, by the way, has 3 Dragon Strikes used in just about 2.5 minutes of play.
It's been a pretty good game for Nachos, but just like Ratchet kind of like oversent in the beginning, I would say that Myfris definitely did that right here. Just kind of oversending, a little overzealous to find that shatter kill, but now he's going to do it again, and no one saw it coming, and I love the Blizzard going to come out on the backside as well, as it's going to freeze up multiple members, but the Dragon, to your point, yet again, going to find Zenyatta. That is so crucial. Villanova's either going to have to win outright or run away, because those supports are down and dusted, and they need to get out and find them so they can help them out.
The call seems to be to run away in this case, and understandably so. You cannot overinvest in these fights, especially during Streets, because you cannot allow the defense to gain that early ground, or at least in this case, the later ground. I'm surprised they've gained this ground back on the St. Peter side, but it's been good ult usage. Now we're going to see Sellout trying that shatter, but they've been walled off. Oh no, Sellout's in such a difficult position. What an immortality field, though, keeping their Reinhardt alive, but in the process, unfortunately, their Mei will fall. The shatter's available, but for the wrong player. Myfris will find the kill. Taiga finds 2 more. This is spiraling out of control. Ratchet's the only one left alive, and well, the only reason that's because they've already died.
Yeah, and finally a solid team fight win for either team, right? We saw it on the first point, but then the last 3 fights been kind of like, finally everybody, including us, the audience, even the teams get to take a little bit of a breather, reset here, because point 2 has been taken. Now both teams can focus in on what really counts. Point 3, everyone knows it. Kings Row, 3rd point. So difficult to get around. Sellout taking a ton of damage up front. Bomb's going to come in over the top from Tyler. Potentially find a big one. Gets 3 off the back of that bomb. They are going to be able to push through and find multiple kills off of this and just go ahead and push this card even further, not giving anybody a chance to breathe at any point. Dragon's going to be committed right away from Nachos to try to slow the roll. Trance is going to be answered in kind. There is no worries for Villanova right now. Going to be committing Blizzard, and it's going to sell out Frozen straight up. Not going to have any chance. Now Villanova has all the control they want, but Blizzard from the side of St. Peter's desperately trying to hold on to this as members continue to fall. High Noon going to be pulled on the backside. Only going to find 1, but 1 might be good enough, as now it's just a trickle fight as Villanova slowly tries to cap this. 80.18 meters away from capping. Another Dragon from Nachos yet again. Does end up finding the Mei, but members are still going down for the side of St. Peter's. No one is giving up on this, but it's not going to matter in the end because Villanova did a great job with those trickles.
All right, I'm no mathematician, but the last time I checked, Reinhardt has a shield. Reinhardt did not use the shield on the D.Va bomb that won them the game, or at least the round. I'm sorry, if D.Va does not find 3 with that bomb, they don't create as much space as they do, they don't get as far forward as they did, and the round at least doesn't end as quickly. it may have still ended in the favor of Villanova, but not with 2.5 minutes on the clock. Villanova, on the attacking side of just about any map thus far this season, has been so difficult for them to put anything together. They have not gained a lot of ground. They haven't created a lot of space for themselves. That changed a lot in this round. St. Peter's were shut down in the streets phase. A good amount of ult usage from Villanova allowed them to create a lot of space for themselves. And then, well, you just saw what happened. The Diva Bomb going up and over top. I'm going to say it was a good Diva Bomb. I'm also going to say it probably shouldn't have gotten as much as it did, but it was a good Diva Bomb.
Yeah, and we can never know what's happening on the back end, right? At least on myself, I didn't quite see exactly what maybe stopped Sellout from blocking that. Maybe there was a stun, maybe there was a boop, he knocked him inside the doorway, which didn't lead to the block. Any number of things could have happened. But what I will say is that Villanova finally found their footing after an entire season of trying to get, these standard comps to work. They finally put together a nice, solid, consistent round. And that's all we've ever asked for. And that's all they've ever wanted. And they're finally starting to do it. Now this opens up an entire doorway for them to just take this series, their first one of the year, I believe. And that'll be such an amazing thing for them, especially against kind of a middle team of St. Peter's. So, gonna have to see how they want to play this defense, how slowly or fast they want to try to play it. And it looks like St. Peter's is going straight in. They're gonna force that ammo out super early. Sellout is gonna have his burned in response, and now it's just an all-out brawl. Everyone's just looking for these picks, but it's gonna be St. Peter's coming through with the picks first, especially with Nachos on Widow.
Oh,
love to see the Widow come out on the first point of Kings Row. For all the haters out there, she found some shots.
Widow is the greatest hero in all of Overwatch. I will not be taking questions. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. The press conference is over. Nice opener, though. Well done, at least for St. Peter's early on. Now they need to take Streets phase. The one difficulty of their Streets phase now is everyone is alive on the Villanova side, and everyone has their different utility of choice. Unfortunately, Tyler... I know Tyler didn't die late, so I'm pretty sure Tyler decided to jump off a map and try and remech, which I don't know if that was the correct decision. Well, look at exactly why. Sellout already gets an opener, Taiga falls, and the May is off the board already. Nate the Cat just barely makes it out alive. Somebody buy him a lottery ticket for still being up and in this one. Unfortunately, Zenz isn't, and that may be the fight already, and it's barely been any time through.
Yeah, barely any time through, and they're already halfway through Streets phase. Rounded that first corner with no problem because of what you pointed out, the respawn. Now they're going to have an even more difficult task of pushing around this second corner. And this is where rubber meets the road as Nacho goes down to some bullets on a stairwell.
Oh, no!
So now we're going to have to see how Nate the Cat responds. Or, I'm sorry, how St. Peter's responds to one of their members going down. But the res come through. Oh, I'm sorry, not the res, but the vision is going to come through. So now they know exactly where they are. Going to be playing this corner a little slow. Going to have to find a nice off angle here for Ratchet in order to get a little bit of value. Otherwise, it's just going to be blocked up and eaten up by Defense Matrix and the shield. But it's straight through for Sellout. Not going to find anything. And Transcendence is going to be committed right away. Oh, my goodness. That was St. Peter's doing a full send. Just trying to get some more ults out. And I think they got exactly what they were looking for. As Villanova just sends in all of the ultimates. Even though the fight is kind of already over, that's going to spell a lot of trouble later on.
Yeah, but Myfris gets the Shatter down, and look at Myfris ult charge really quick. You remember how they put down a Shatter just like 15 seconds ago? Yeah, they're at 90%. Yeah. So, just see that as you will. Swinging the hammer goes burr, I suppose. But it is a great, at least, start to the Streets phase. They're starting to shut this down on the defensive side, which is exactly what they need. Nachos did a lot of damage in that one, so you're going to see the infrared sight be built up yet again. And they're looking for some more up and over top, through or over top of that shield. And in goes the Amplification Matrix to help out with it. Sellout will find one with that Fire Strike. And they're creating so much space because of that, but not enough. In goes the Blizzard. Will it hit? No, it's not actually the Blizzard. No, he's just frozen, and that may kill him. Oh, no.
Yeah, now it's just about Villanova stabilizing yet again in order to stall out even longer on the Streets phase. We're getting down to 307, and the time comparability is starting to go less and less in the favor of St. Peter's and more into Villanova. Because now, if we even talk about just one or two more fights, the time bank is going to start to play a factor into overtime or even just losing the map in general. So they do have to kind of get a move on here, and Tyler finding that remake kill is going to slow it down even more, because without the Lucio, there's no chance this Reinhardt gets on top of anybody fast, and that was their whole game plan before. I love Nate going to pop that early, make them back off even further, just creating all the space in the world right now. Villanova is for the rest of their teammates, but Ratchet's had enough. Going to be pushing forward, but taken down for the aggressive play. The Diva was not there to eat any of those shots, and now it's just the team pushing forward. Micah's gonna find everybody with that shatter, and no one survives. Entire team wipe. The only reason it doesn't come up is because Ratchet comes back online. But my goodness, Mifus and the team, the squad, not giving up on the play. I love it.
I just want to point out, if Villanova hold for the next 120 seconds, they will win their first map of the season.
Damn right it will.
Oh my gosh. Wow, what a fight.
We're going to be here for it. We're going to be here for it because I believe Villanova, this is going to 5. Now, this is the next fight that's going to make this happen. As the window, they just have to survive this. They commit the Blizzard to slow down the window play. Sellout needs to find a lot of value in combination with Halston. But Nate the Cat's the first one to find the kills. Now the pressure's on St. Peter's to try to turn this fight. Not going to happen as Nate the Cat is committing mind, body, and soul just to get these fan the hammer kills off. And the team is not backing down. They're right there with him. He's even going a little bit quicker than everyone else as Ratchet's trying to put the damage down for the rest of the squad. But St. Peter's has no answer for Nate getting right up in this Reinhardt's face.
Creating some space early on. That's exactly what they needed. That's exactly what they got. And look at their ultimates. They almost have 5 full ults on the other side. You're looking at a second being built and 2 more on the way at best. It's not great to say the least. Sellout will commit that early shatter, but it finds nothing, and Myfirst gets the opener. In goes a Diva Bomb as well. That may find something. It doesn't. It was too far away from the Reinhardt, so he could switch his vision, and that will create so much space for them. But no, oh no! He got flashed!
Yep, flash cancels it, but the High Noon's going to find 2 anyway. They pushed a little bit too aggressively with that Transcendence. You know, Min trying to do the best to turn the fight for the team, but 30 seconds left. They got to find a way to regroup. Sellout's going to try to get out. Just as Zenyatta Orb trying to keep him up. Not going to be enough as Villanova resets for the last fight of the map. They've done a beautiful job of holding. They understand their team comp, and they know their win conditions, and it's only 1 ult apiece for each team, and it's going to come down to which one gets more value, and if Taiga can get this ultimate built in time. But there it is. Nate the Cat finds the first pick. Going to start it off right. They are going to bring it right back, but while that healing is down, Nate the Cat takes advantage, taking down Sellout. Now all the pressure is on St. Peter's, and they are crumbling beneath the weight like a lawn chair. And this could be the first map win for Villanova of the year. They are not stopping. They are shattering. They are throwing freezes. It is over for St. Peter's, giving up that first map win. And that's going to seal the deal as Tyler ends the game with a double kill double bomb. Woo!
Oh my gosh, they did it. Villanova has won a map in EGF.
Let's go, baby.
Somebody called the press. Somebody put it on the front page. Nate the Cat justifiably gets the play of the game for this one. Just watch this push coming through. There's the damage done, and here's the Deadeye. It finds 2, even with the trance right in front of them. That is exactly what you're looking for in the third over top of it. This is just cruel, unusual, and a lot of punishment coming through. And a good finish for Villanova. They haven't had those. They haven't had any finishes, much less good ones, to this season, and they pull it off. A very, very good defensive streets phase that St. Peter's definitely lacked, and that's going to cost them. That is going to cost St. Peter's a map and give Villanova their first of the year, albeit St. Peter's did win their first map of the spring split over on Nepal, but hey, it's a game of firsts here in this match. Wow.
I'm so jazzed. I just want to keep going. You know what I mean? I want to roll right into the next map because this momentum train that we're seeing from Villanova right now, competitive in the first one, and then now they get a map win. They are on such a high. Listen, I called this from the start, right? I did. I called it. I said this could be a 3-1, 3-2. We are now at 1-1 apiece. Villanova, they just came out with a fire under their butts. St. Peter's now just been smacked in the mouth. We're going to have to see how they respond. We're going to take a short break in order for everyone to catch their breath, because now we get to see the rest of this exciting match on the flip side of this break. We'll see you here back here in a minute. back, ladies and gentlemen. EGF Week 15 brought to you by Intel. This has just been one of those exciting, unpredictable series already. Villanova, last round, got a nice first map win on the board. St. Peter's letting that one slip by after taking a strong 1-0 lead in this series. Looking to the next map. And we have Hanamura. This is such a snowball map, and Villanova has the hot hand right now. I'm expecting great things from them. Time, give me a little bit of insight on what you're seeing in the series, how you're feeling about it. The fans out there got to be on fire for Villanova, and St. Peter's fans got to be a little bit sweating.
Hey, I wouldn't blame either of them. Villanova fans for being ecstatic and St. Peter's fans for sweating. But both teams have their first map wins of the spring split. Villanova, their first map win of EGF. So let's go Villanova. A little bit of a fun fact, a tangent, if you will. My cousin went to Villanova, led the band there through their NCAA run. I got to watch some of those games. It was really cool. But
Very nice.
completely off topic. I don't care.
Love it.
Into this map of Hanamura. You were talking about a snowbally map. That's only if you play it correctly on the attacking side.
True.
If you play it well in the defense and you just lock down what you need to, you play your vertical or your horizontal angles properly, and you don't allow them in quickly, especially with those Symmetra turrets and those Symmetra teleports, they're not going to get anywhere. The attack will be shut down at that opening gate choke, and it's going to be a ruined attacking side on Hanamura. So we'll have to see how it goes. St. Peter's will start on the attack this time around. Ironically, the teams that have lost maps have decided to start on attack.
That holds true for one of the maps, since both on the first one they both attack the point. So, kind of
well,
tough.
No. Like, so Villanova, shush. You've lost speaking privileges. I'm muting him. I'm producing. He's muted now. You can't hear him. No, I'm gonna unmute him because that's mean. No. So after Nepal, of course, the losing team. Yeah, after Nepal, the losing team gets the side choice. So Villanova actually decided to stay on the right side, which is the attacking side. Now St. Peter's just lost Kings Row. They decide to start on the attack, which is a little surprising because teams usually decide to start defense. But hey, that's
true. But I think what we're seeing from both these teams is who gets to set the tone first, right? And that's super important because just as you said, by the way, we definitely get Dorado. Everyone get excited for the next round because we're definitely going to Dorado. But right now it's Hanamura, and I love that you brought up both sides of the snowball. Because yes, you can just roll downhill, no stops, get a 550 time bank, get crazy with it, even 3 to 5 minutes, whatever. But you can also be a stalwart defense where you dig your heels in and you never let them through that door clean, and you always have the off angles, you always have the little windows. Maybe you run the torb, you got the turret up top. It's got all kinds of different little potholes that you could fall into on the attacking side that no one really ever brings up. And I like that you brought that up because it is definitely a snag that could slow down one of these two teams.
Yeah, the defensive snowball is not something I like to call a snowball, but it is a snowball. Because if you have that ultimate economy in your favor, again, I'm going back to that ultimate economy. When I cast Counter-Strike, I like to talk about the actual money economy, but, we don't have one of those here. So I go with the ultimate economy. I really like to highlight that for the sole reason that it's almost one of the most important things in the game. If you have 6 ultimates into the final fight, you're going to win the final fight. I don't care what anybody says. Unless you don't know how to use ultimates and you've never played this game before, you're going to win the final fight. Now, in all fairness, we've had a couple of those scenarios where you have 6 ultimates going to the final fight and you somehow still lose the final fight. And me sitting in the prod background, to say the least, I've been concerned and confused. I know I've taken a couple screenshots of Twin Salty just going... I actually have one hiding in my scenes right now. Actually, just for your viewing pleasure, here you go. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about taking screenshots of Twin Salty. Yeah, here you go. This was after UT Arlington versus versus University of Tennessee. Yeah, there was a C9 on Volskaya.
This is what we have to deal with, by the way. I just want all you out there to know this is what we got to deal with. This is what we got to worry about if we're making funny faces behind the scenes.
Hey, he said he liked it. I thought it was hysterical. And user Intel made it his desktop background for, I think, like 3 days. So
True.
I don't care. But into Hanamura we go.
Yeah, but leading into this game, that's how you know that we care just as much as you fans out there. We want to see these teams do well. We want to see the victories come through for either St. Peter or Villanova. We don't have a favorite. We just want to see good games, and that's what we're getting right now as we start at the front door. The most crucial part of this choke, and it looks like Villanova is going to be setting up in a little bit of a behind the rock defense, playing that open courtyard. But that's going to prove really nice for Nachos and this pharmacy to put a lot of damage down as the jump comes through.
Oh.
The Ratchet is going to get off the back a sellout, and they're going to find the first picks they need to open the point up. It's just Zenz trying to hold it down, a lonely floating Zenyatta. Not going to be enough for them, as it is St. Peter's rolling straight through.
Why are you talking about Dwayne Johnson while we're playing Overwatch?
As it's the rock defense. It's right there, baby.
No, I'm screwing with you. No. I've been watching the Fast and Furious series again, and it's still great, by the way, no matter how many times you watch it. Again, little tangent. Again, don't care. But into the second point, we were talking about that snowball. This is where it can happen. There are not ultimates available at all for the defensive side. We're about to have that rocket barrage coming through. Look out for Nachos with that barrage from above, or in some cases from the side, because that won't even snowball around. That will win it for you. And look, they're trying to set it up already.
Yeah, crucial dive going to be coming in. This is where St. Peter's is going to put all of their money in the monkey basket. Got to find some kills with this nano boost. Nothing comes through. Matter of fact, Ratchet was the first one to go down in this fight. So already on the back foot for St. Peter as more members start to fall. And Nate the Cat going to be cleaning up this fight as a sneaky little peeky from the high ground. Going to be finding 3. Going on for the 4th, does find it. So Nate the Cat getting the flank. And Villanova holding true in this defense. Now that's crucial because you need to win this first fight in order to build up to the ultimates to counter the barrage, the visor, everything that's coming your way.
Both teams are going to have Diva Bomb going into this fight. I think that's one thing that we really need to note. It can create space or deny space. Both are very possible. Both have happened already in this series. We've seen Holston with that Diva Bomb really not get anything, and then at the same time we've seen Tyler get everything at that same point. They will jump on towards the site, and they're trying to create as much space as they can. In goes the amplification matrix. Tyler will fall early, and look at the damage already put through. Holston can throw in the Diva Bomb as well. If they do so, please, will they? No!
No,
what?
Not going to be committed, and Villanova is going to start to take control of the point off the back of Nate the Cat yet again, finding the first pick onto Nachos. For St. Peter's going down right there. It's going to be tough for them to do anything as they need to back out, but Myphus did pop Mega Monkey. So he definitely thought that fight was going to continue. I can guarantee that much.
I think that was a misclick. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, I fat finger ultimates all the time. It happens. I also fat finger shooting my teammates in the back of the head in various games. It's not intentional, I promise. I'm just bad at video games. That's why I'm casting. But
there it is.
Into this possibly final fight. Look at the ultimates available. They can throw in the barrage. They can throw in the Diva Bomb. They haven't done either just yet. In goes Trance, and they'll try and get everything out of this possible. A lot of space has already been created, but down goes the Ana early, and that cannot happen as your opening death. That's a lot of your healing down for everybody other than your Pharah. And just like that, wait a second. Huh?
Yep. They're turning it around even without both healers, right? The Nano Boost is going to come through. They're going to drop all ults on one fight, which is what you need to do in 2CP. You got to find the kills, and you got to find them fast. And they just dropped 3 ults on top of each other, trying to get all the kills they needed. But Myphus doing a great job of stalling out for time, letting people get back to the point. Now it's all about Diva. Can she touch the point? It's going to be Taiga getting on the point first with the ammo field down and the bionic field down, trying to do as much healing as possible. Visor going to be popped. Bubble and DM straight in the face of Taiga, and that's going to shut him down. And it wasn't the most snowbally thing we've ever seen as Villanova put up a fight, but this has been a knockdown, drag out, and blow for blow. Both teams are answering.
Just under 3 minutes left on the clock. That is a very good time bank for St. Peter's, but the question is now, can Villanova beat that? Can they match it, or will they be shut down past it? Those are the questions we now pose and the answers we await. But it's possible. Again, we were talking about the snowbally map. I think St. Peter's could have shut that down early if they really just sent it. Sometimes you just have to hold W, especially when you have a massive advantage. They were in the advantage. They had the rocket barrage. That creates so much space. I don't think anybody can ever underestimate the effectiveness of a rocket barrage, for the sole reason that it can kill an entire team if you place it properly. That time we did not see the Pharah try and go for something sneaky. We didn't see them even go for something emphatic. We just saw the Pharah jump around, throw some missiles every so often, and die a couple times. That's not really what you want to see. Nachos will decide to switch to the Symmetra this time around. They are going to play the defensive teleporting strat. For all of you unfamiliar, basically, you throw a teleporter somewhere, and then you throw the other side of the teleporter on the site, and basically you just use it to rotate. It's pretty cool.
It's nice description there. But no, you're right. I mean, like we were just saying, you're going to see some comp swaps. We're going to see these teams adapt to each other. That's what we've been seeing this whole series. And fans out there for both St. Peter's and Villanova, they know the momentum is going back and forth. They need your help right now. Get in the chat, start saying some stuff, give them your support, because this is it. This is what's going to determine how we go into Dorado. Who's going to be up 2-1? Who's going to have the momentum? It's going to be a lot on Villanova to try to set a good pace here in order to get a good map time to go into extra innings. Now we're going to see the teleporter strap. As you said, it is full bull, no bar hold on the point. As they are, you're starting to hold this very nicely for St. Peter's. Nacho's going to be finding a 4K to start this off, and that's going to build nicely to that wall for the next fight coming through. Man, that was a nice strat, but it was countered very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know why this turret is put here. That's a questionable one for me. I usually like to put that in the back of the site, or the back of the point, I suppose. But hey, if they want to play the strat, they can do so, and it worked out perfectly fine for them, so more power to them. We'll see if it does work around this time around. They will switch off of the Symmetra on the Villanova side, which I think is a good call, but I don't know if the Junkrat is the correct call in the other instance. We will see the remech come through, and in goes the Symmetra wall already. The fight is breaking out, and nobody's dead just yet. Finally, the Immortality field will be taken out, and now everybody will fall on the Villanova side. Blue Falcon, Myfris, both dropping. The Reinhardt is well and truly out of this fight, as is the entirety of Villanova. They will retreat in kind, and, well, the Diva just has to go die. That was a snowball and a half, and, well, we're already starting up spring.
Saddest of daggers there for Tyler, but there we go. We get to see in full effect what you were talking about with the, this phalanx defense that we're seeing. You got both teleporters out, you got turrets all over the place, and a little bit of a Villanova confusion as one team decided to go one way and the other team decided to go, or the other side of the team decided to go to point. We're going to see if they can clean it up here in this next fight, as they need to stick together in order to make this comp work. It's all about getting everyone in the same spots. But the Maywall going to make that almost impossible. Shatter's going to come down to buy time for the rest of the team to pile in, and it does end up working out as everyone is now together. Diva going to get a little bit separated, so is Blue Falcon, and the Diva Bomb going to try to clean up some of the kills and the pressure on the back end. But I tell you what, St. Peter's knows exactly what they want to do, and they keep sending sellout full bore, full send, and it's working out every time.
Remember how I was talking about snowballing the defensive side with those ultimates? Yeah, that's what's happening. Look at the ultimates available. You have the Blizzard, you have Symmetra Wall, you have the Mega Monkey, aka the Primal Rage, and then you have the Diva Bomb available. 3 of those create space. The 4th will deny space. Wow. Look at the setup you have. Riptire is a win condition on this attacking side. They need to throw that in if they want to have anything out of this. A nice Maywall, but it's not going to get as much as you would please. In goes everything on both sides. In goes the Riptire, but it doesn't get enough. The Mega Monkey stays alive with that 1,000 HP margin, and it's just falling apart for Villanova. They throw just about every single ultimate that they had into this fight. They get very little out of it, and it falls apart. I don't think they have this, and it looks like they don't.
No, but they are going to get a lot of good damage down and a lot of good picks off, and these are not all resable, so they're going to have to pick and choose who they want to come back. Probably going to have to be putting it on the Monkey now. But this is good. I like this compositional swap from Myfris. Tyler's still sticking on that Diva, but it gives Myfris more options when that wall comes down. Before you have to bait it out with Reinhardt, now you can just jump out with Monkey, and that makes it so much more flexible when walking through that doorway, when dealing with Symmetra. You can pick and choose what you want to do. As I say that, Myfris is the first one in. They're looking to put the pressure down on May. She is going to be able to escape, and Tiger going to be pushed out of that immortality field, I believe, and Nachos is going to be the benefactor as the turrets are cleaning up the fight. As we're ticking down under 5 seconds, members of Villanova are not there to touch the point. Oh, wait, I was wrong. Diva was in the back end. We didn't get to see that, but it isn't going to matter really, as it's just going to be a bunch of members trickling on, and all they got to do is deal with it slowly but surely. Might get one more touch here depending if Monkey can reach, and he does. He does get up on point, popping the Primal. This is going to extend the fight. Now they just have to build up to more ultimates. Zen's getting very close. Taiga going to be popping high noon right now, finding the picks that they need.
Wait a second.
This chaotic fight is benefiting Villanova as they keep finding picks. Like I said, blow for blow, they keep coming back. Never say die, and that's what it's about, baby.
We are living in a simulation. Villanova is not real. How do they pull that off? They were merely tenths of seconds away from losing this. And my first is like, oh, I'm going to jump onto the point and pop Primal. And then Tyga's like, oh, I have Deadeye. And then the rest of the team's like, oh yeah, we could win this. And they do. But they're not going to win the map. Wow. Yeah, and they still have Tire. They still have the D.Va Bomb available. This is going to be chaotic. This will be a snowball-y round. In goes a Riptire. It will go out and around, trying to create as much space as possible. Trying to hunt for... What? Hello?
This is bad. Nate the Cat saw it coming. Reaper is in a 1v1 duel, and Nate the Cat is out there on his own. But that means the Reaper isn't here, and it took too long to find that kill. Blizzard's going to come down 2 ticks already. No matter what happens, Villanova's happy with this fight. They got 2 ticks for free. They are going to commit. Tyler thinks this can be turned around, and Myphus agrees as they jump right on the backline. They both are going in, but they don't have supports to keep them alive. And it is just going to be a slow death for them, which is not what you want in this kind of scenario. Is eventually going to be looking to jump off the map, which is a very smart decision after the ults were committed. But the Tire didn't find any value, you're right, and it was a chase down, and Nachos found him.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a challenging fight for Villanova, but I think overall they're going to take that. Because they used 2 of their ultimates, the only real 2 ultimates they had, and they get 2 ticks. I'm okay with that trade if I'm Villanova, but yep. I don't know if St. Peter's going to be too happy, because now they have 3 ults. They have a 4th on the way and a 5th coming up relatively soon. But it's a challenge for them to put that together. In comes this push yet again. We will have Primal available yet again, but how does that turn into a fight win or possibly a fight loss for Villanova? We'll just have to see.
Yep. Keep your eye on the nano boost engage. Hunter's probably going to pull the trigger pretty early, especially now that Nachos doesn't have a Wraith. A lot of pressure going to be put down on him. Mercy going to have to fly on over. Valkyrie's going to be popped. Nano is eventually going to come out here after that. But no, Hunter goes down before he can find the target. Definitely wanted to put that on top of Sellout. But unfortunately, Sellout was just either a little bit too far away or no vision. And now it's just double bubbles on the point with D.Va Bomb going out.
Oh, no.
And that couldn't have gone worse for Villanova as the D.Va Bomb finds 2 and 2 crucial targets at that. And now it's just about getting out with your life or jumping off the map. Either one will do as the chase down is now on. They have to find a way to get out and not get DMEC. Looks like Tyler's going to be just fine for this one. They got enough time for one more fight.
Yeah, and I think that was a little bit of an overinvestment from the St. Peter side. They had a lot of ultimates. They used 3 of them, and I don't think they needed to. The Valkyrie was not required. I don't think you needed to use the Primal in that case. It was nice, but you didn't have to. And now we're just waiting for the Death Blossom. This is the final fight. Death Blossom being put in. Look at how much damage it's getting. It's not getting enough. Oh, no. The Immortality Field will keep them alive, and the Wraith is used from Nachos to get the heck out of dodge. Somehow he makes it out. Now we use the teleport to get back up top, but in goes now the Amplification Matrix, the D.Va Bomb, and the remech kill as well. They're going to try and get everything on this attacking side. Nachos and Hunter getting 1 each, but it's falling apart now for St. Peter's.
Yeah, this is all about the Reapers. Who can find the crucial picks?
Oh, no.
Falcon going to go down. Nate the Cat eventually going to go down. And now the damage is going to be too much for Villanova to overcome. It is just going to be a slow loss here as the Blizzard's just going to be the icing on the cake as it's going to be St. Peter's going to be going with a 2-1 lead in Dorado. And that's the momentum they were looking for, and that's why you start on attack.
Hey, they snowballed it. And they played really staunch defense on both points, both for about as much time. You had 3 minutes to do so on the final point. You had 4 minutes to do so on the first, and they did so properly on both of them. A lot of time was wasted on this first point. I think it was a really good take from Villanova. It just was not enough. Here's Nachos with the play of the game, by the way. It was mainly the turrets and, of course, the giant wall helping out, but it was almost entirely the turrets. I'm not going to lie to you. Nachos did nothing but boom, 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 and sit there.
I tell you what, the turret placement on point today. What I will say about this, though, for Villanova's side, and Villanova fans everywhere out there, you all have to be extremely proud because it's pretty clear to me, off of just this series, everything that they've been working on throughout the season, the culmination of everything they've practiced is starting to come to a head, and it's starting to bear fruit because they're starting to become clutch. They're starting to figure out how to win fights when they're down ultimates, and they're starting to move together as a team, and they're coordinating. Oh my goodness, this is everything you want, Villanova fans. Everything you want. And St. Peter's fans, for a team that's starting to come up, starting to figure it out, for you to still be able to handle that pressure when they start getting on a roll and come back and slap them right back in the mouth after dropping the second map, that's super important too. The mental for both these teams is going to be really tested on this Dorado map. Can St. Peter's close this out and go away with a 3-1 victory? Or are we going to go to map 5 and a 2-2 where Villanova has a shot to win it all right here. That's what we're really looking at. That's what everyone needs to know. This is what it's about. And we're swapping sides right now. Don't let the
Yeah,
score fool
don't
anyone. We're just
don't
swapping
don't
sides.
worry about that.
But that's the scenario we find ourselves in. And that is so exciting for Villanova fans. And it's got to be exciting for St. Peter's fans because it's a time to prove what your teams are about right now.
Actually, my name's Time to Light. Thank you very much.
Oh, there it is. Another pun.
Ah,
Put it
ah.
in the punny. There
Yeah,
it is.
this is why they don't put me on the casting booth in any game other than Counter Strike. It's because I do this. But into Dorado, prediction: are we seeing a map 5? Quick, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I I think the answer is no, and I think the sole reason is because we're having the verticality. I'll explain. I'll explain.
Okay. I'll
So,
let you.
Villanova did not have the vertical prowess that we saw from St. Peter's in that map. The ability for
Mhm.
St. Peter's to go from top to bottom on both points was astounding to see. The y axis, or the z axis, wrong math terms, the z axis for them was amazing. But Villanova just did not match that by any means. And I think that's the challenge they're going to run into here because, well, I'll give you a hint. Look at the first point, just the first opening part of Dorado. Look at all that verticality. Look at all the denial available for St. Peter's as they start on the defensive side. If Villanova don't get past this in under 2 minutes, I don't think they win this map. I don't even think they make it to the first point.
Oh my goodness. No faith. No faith in momentum. No faith in clutchness. No faith in confidence. And that's what Villanova's rolling in this with. That's why they chose attack, because they're going to set the tone. They know what they want to do. They know you don't believe. They know you think they don't have a Farah in their pocket. They don't need it. They've got a Nate the Cat. They've got a Tyga. They got a Myfris, a Zenz, Blue, and Tyler. That's all they need. And now the push is going to start. And this is where they're going to set the pace. This is where it's going to be world record run. And I know what we're all talking about with the verticality. That's fine. And St. Peter's has the high ground, but that's never stopped anyone from pushing up a hill before. And here they come, pushing up this card around the first corner. Going to be looking to get under that underpass with almost no casualties. And it's going to be on sellout. How can he find the angle for the team to start it? It's going to be Hunter that's going to find the first casualty. And it's going to be trying to keep sellout alive, but Zenz is going to punish. And all the members for the front line are extremely low on Villanova's side as they need to back out just a little bit. Sellout being brought right back into the fight. And now it's just St. Peter's holding true on that high ground. They definitely knew what they wanted to do. It's going to be about Villanova finding a counterpunch.
I don't know about Holston going into that fight, and now Holston needs to come back into it. I think they should be okay with timing, but they're going to have to play this verticality properly. We've really seen that from Hunter, and now, oh no, Zenz gets the opener. That could fall apart here as Nachos is the first to go down. They can build off of this, but the res does come through. It comes back in perfect time, and in goes the Riptire because of it. It surprisingly doesn't find anything. I'm going to say it's, no, Nachos died. So that'll do it. Yeah, feels bad, man.
Crucial part of the map already over with, though. They already got the cart under the underpass. Now it's about, surviving a little bit, getting a few picks. If they even get 1 or 2 right here, that would be ideal, especially if they can get Anna. That's huge. Now the timing you talked about earlier, going to be a little bit wonky on the side of St. Peter's, no matter who goes down here, because Anna moves pretty slow, and the spawns are very close for Villanova. I say that. I did not realize the res would be back online, so now it's about going to do this all over again. They got to find a way to get multiple picks, not just one.
Yeah, they're going to try and start to push this cart back under the underpass, but it's easier said than done, especially when they're collapsing on you up above. Ratchet's being collapsed on, and in comes just about every push. Primal's being popped on this attacking side, and they're going to try everything, but in goes the tack visor. In it will find one, looking for more, but in goes the Transcendence, keeping just about everybody alive. Unfortunately, Ratchet may not be. How is he still up in this one? He's not. That's how.
Yeah. Eventually going to go down. Purple is going to find multiple targets on the side of Villanova, but they are not going to worry about it at all as they continue to put the pressure on every member of St. Peter's. And now it's starting to fall apart a little bit. Zen's going down could be problematic on the side of Villanova. They are going to need to find a way to keep those heals and everyone alive. It's a very nice job from Blue Falcon, doing a great job of that right now. And it's going to force Sellout to find a way to get out, not going to be able to. And now it's going to all come down to Ratchet and the Diva. And Halstan does have the Diva Bomb. Going to have to find big picks with it. And it doesn't look like it's going to find hardly anybody as it's just dropped right in front of the payload. Still being contested. Damage still being put out by Nachos. Don't know when this Death Blossom is going to be committed. Could be pretty soon. Not looking like it's going to be necessary as members start to fall. And even with Monkey coming back in, I think they know they got to back it out.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really like about this attack for Villanova is that they don't overcommit ultimates. They haven't really throughout the entire series, other than maybe the latter part of Hanamura. I think that's the extent of where I'm going to go with that one. But it's looking good for them here at the starting point of Dorado. It took them just over 2 minutes to get through the underpass, but they got through it and they started that final push in due time. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. They're going to create a lot more space. They will create this high ground space. And oh no, that's just a support diff right there. Zenz gets the opener. Down goes Nachos. If they don't get the res here, I don't know if they can hold this. They don't have the damage. Never mind.
And there you go. Now they
Yeah.
can get the res off. Yeah, Myphis was the biggest problem there of keeping that res from going through.
Oh.
And now Ratchet up there with the high ground is just going to be a menace. Not going to let anybody have any kind of fun. No rocket kill coming through. Just wants to save it for the bullets. Maybe use it on this Reaper. Going to be able to teleport out, but falling off the high ground there, probably a little bit of a misclick, but in the end, got everybody that they needed to, and Ratchet did a great job of just finding the picks.
Yeah, but the notable thing is Villanova, look at their ultimates. They have 5. They're about to have 6 if Myfris does like 250 damage. This is looking good for them in a good fight. Dragon and Death Blossom in this scenario, though, I don't know about that. You're not going to create a lot of space with these two unless you throw the Dragon up top, and you need to do so quickly if you want to create any space whatsoever. Taiga needs to do so in due time. If they don't, it's going to fall apart. In goes the Diva Bomb. Will it find anything? No, not at all. Trance will be thrown in to keep everybody alive, but the Diva Bomb actually does take out the mech of Holston. That's the opener they need. That's the one they're going to get, and down goes Holston in the end. Blue Falcon will fall in tandem, but in goes that Death Blossom. Never mind. He's dead.
Yeah.
Done and dusted.
Yep. Death Blossom going to be shut down, and the verticality you talked about is now being applied through Nachos, right? Even more verticality. You know, you have a high ground already. Now they need to find a different angle. They keep sending Myphis and Tyler on solo missions up top, and the duo just isn't finding the value because everybody for St. Peter's is sitting up there. So they got to find a different way of getting Myphis, you know, to be a little bit more effective. Not necessarily any one person's fault. It's got to be a team effort. But now the team's going to be pushing through that main choke, and they're going to be going right up top again. We'll probably see the Primal Rage being popped here pretty soon, especially with Anti being popped through. And there you go, Myphis already popping it off. Trying to look for Hunter. Isn't going to find it, going to have to drop back to the team, as it wasn't quite the value that maybe he was looking for. But the Bubble's going to put quite a bit of coverage, especially for Nachos. And the Nano Boost even going to be committed. And it's going to be enough with the Barrage and the Rockets thereafter to find all the picks they need to send Villanova back to the spawn. St. Peter's' defense is looking pretty staunch right now.
Yeah, and that's that verticality I was talking about. That's the main reason I was talking about timing on the first point. Yeah, it was difficult for them to get the first point, but they pulled it off. Unfortunately, it took them forever to do so. The stall factor for the Diva and the Monkey early on really changed this map. And not only on the first point, but throughout this map entirely. Because look at how much time they have left just to get second point. They're down to 15 seconds. This is final fight territory. This is where it could all create itself or it could all end. One ultimate, now 2 or 3 available for the attacking side. You're going to see the Diva Bomb thrown in just a second if it gets anything out of this. But down goes Myfris early on. There's no res available. And even with the amplification matrix, I don't know if they're going to get this. In goes just about everything here for this defensive side. The Diva Bomb, it finds 2 as well. It's spiraling out of control. It's a snowball. It's a blizzard without a May. The defense holds strong, and they lock down the second point at only 67 meters.
Tyler's bomb's going to find sellout,
Wait a sec.
I
Wait a
cannot
sec.
believe
Wait.
that this is going to be another clutch up from Villanova. I believe this is when they're at their best, when it all starts going chaotic. No one knows exactly what's going on, but it looks like St. Peter's is trying to find a way to answer that same aggression and that same clutchness, and they are going to be able to finally stopping this cart underneath that bridge, and now it's their turn to answer back. And for Villanova, you got to be feeling a little bit nervous, but you do have a chance to full hold first point. It looks like both of these teams know what they want to do, and now it's about execution. And I think St. Peter's had the best of them in the first round. It's about Villanova answering back and executing their defense in order to hold this one out.
It was a good play. A good attempt, at least. But it just wasn't enough. I think that's the main note for this Villanova attack throughout this series, is it wasn't enough. Now, here comes the point for St. Peter's. We've seen St. Peter's lock down the verticality. Can they create room for themselves on those vertical positions? Because now we're going to see Villanova most likely, and I'm going to say most likely because I don't know what they're going to try here, most likely carbon copy that St. Peter's defense on both of the first 2 points, assuming, of course, St. Peter's gets past the first one, because a lot of these maps are, can I steal your homework and change a couple of the answers?
Mhm.
That's really what we're
Nah.
going to see through a lot of these. Taiga playing that Junkrat, unsurprising. Nate the Cat back onto the Cassidy, again unsurprising. Zenz and Blue Falcon back on that same support duo we've seen just about all series long, other than, of course, Nepal, because Blue Falcon was on DPS at that point. But past that, you're looking at a very, very strong defensive setup, one that's still being created because they have a Reinhardt, which is a little surprising while playing vertically, but hey, you do you.
Yep, and through all the twists and turns that we've had through this series, now we get to see the culmination of it on Dorado. Can St. Peter's push through and shut Villanova down before they can start the comeback train?
Oh my
Looks
gosh.
like the first answer is no, especially on the first push, as Halston and Sellout are both going to be taken down in consecutive order. And now it's about just a little bit of poke and building ult and trying to play as safe as possible. I don't think
No
they
way.
saw the Reinhardt, but it looks like Halstead's going to be looking for a little bit of a remake kill. Be like, is somebody going to chase me? Someone want to come take this fight? Yeah, come around this corner.
Ooh.
No, going to be shut down. Zenz didn't let it happen, but they do have it underneath that bridge already, which is crucial for them. And they have them off the high ground. So now it's about who can find the picks. And I think St. Peter's, with a long enough fight, do eventually have what it takes, especially with Nachos on that Echo and that Mercy backing up the play to find the picks that they need. They just have to stall it out long enough. If anybody even thinks about stepping out in the wrong spot for Villanova, you know Sellouts has no issues jumping on it. But they're going to pop the window. They're going to try to put the pressure on, and Sellout is the first one to be taken down. That Discord orb just doesn't give any space to breathe. And now they're just going to wait for Sellout to come back.
And understandably so, but they're going to try this multi-dimensional push, and I don't think it's going to work early enough. I don't think this is a strong play for the St. Peter side because they don't have the room to work with. They don't have the early damage ability because Nachos is long range. Ratchet can hit shots, but they need to hit headshots, and a lot of them. And with the healing available on this Villanova backline, I don't think it's going to be enough. I really don't. We'll see how it does develop because look at everybody being sent in. The Trance is going to be good on this defensive side, and Deadeye's available. Do they decide to pop it? That is the real question. A nice flash and a decent attempt at the DMAC. It just does not come through. They replicate the Reinhardt, but they don't get the shatter off. It may not matter, including that tire. The remake attempt, it's not going to work. Oh no! It's falling apart for St. Peter's. They don't pull it off.
This is what I was talking about. Villanova out there. You ready? This is about execution and understanding your win conditions. Taiga understood the win condition. And I love what Nate the Cat did. Understood. You got to get that D-Mech kill, and you have to find the duplicated Reinhardt, and they stopped it before the shatter came through. It probably would have been blocked anyway, but just a great job from both teams understanding exactly what they needed to do. As Myphus in the Discord find Ratchet again. This has been so tough for St. Peter's to come into a fight clean, and now they're even going to have to back off again in order to give themselves enough time to build these ults even more. But Hunter and Sellout both have ultimates online. That is their win con. They have been waiting for that. Throwing in the Diva Bomb, gonna find nobody, and they're gonna send Nachos in on a bit of a mission to find those picks that they need. Halstead and Sellout and Farah on the back line with the nano boost. Gonna be finding some picks. Zen's going down as massive.
What?
And next is Tigra. And the miss is gonna come through on the fan. Not gonna find any of the picks. Now St. Peter's with 40 seconds left, gonna have time to push through. There could be a recontest. You do see some ults coming on, and they could think about coming back for a recontest.
I don't think they have the time. No, they don't. They will secure first point.
Nah,
But
they're
now-
not throwing their bodies at it.
No, I gotta say, I'm not surprised by that, though. Villanova, again, has played very conservative in this series, but I don't like the fact that they're not on the high ground. Look at early high ground control from the St. Peter side. This is going to be crucial for the entirety of this second point. If they don't get back on this high ground, or if they don't create high ground for themselves, it's going to fall apart for them. I don't like the fact that Taiga is still on the Junkrat when they are facing up against a very deadly Nachos on the Pharah. They don't have the hit scan damage enough consecutively to take out Nachos early enough. Because Nachos has that pocket Pharah, they have the pharmacy combo, and that will spiral out of control on this attacking side. Barrage is available. This may just win them the map.
Yeah, crucial to find big value on this barrage. 1 or 2 picks is going to be what's needed. The first one goes down. Ammo is going to come out, but it's traded right out. They just need to deny the res. A nice ante on the back line. Going to force them back a lot of the way, and it's just
Oh
creating
my.
so much space. Window is going to be committed. Bomb from Tyler going to go out. Not going to find anyone, but it is going to provide the space that's needed. Sellout in a desperate situation, just bubble dancing as much as they can. And only 4 meters left. This is the fight. This is where it all comes down, and they absolutely needed that trance, and it comes through. But their ante is going to force out the ammo. So you have to double stack those crucial support utilities. And now it's about St. Peter's committing all the ults they've saved up. Can this time find more? It found 3, and that's going to bring it back.
Oh no.
But nobody could get on the point, and St. Peter's is going to clinch a nail biter. And what was such a knockdown drag out. My God, time. I am so happy we got to watch this one.
Oh, my heart, dude. I feel so bad. This is a good play of the game, though. I'll give this one to Halston. Nice Diva Bomb. Gets 2. Does some more damage as well. This is strong. This is exactly what you needed to get. And, of course, you do a little bit of damage on top of it. You help finish off Blue Falcon. That will do it for Dorado. That will do it for this series. That's upsetting. That's really upsetting. I really wanted to see Lijiang. I really wanted to see a 5th map. But Dorado was so much fun. And I got to give it to St. Peter's. They played their strengths so well. They played the verticality. It's exactly what they needed to do. That's exactly what they did. It was a strong showing from them, and they pulled it off in kind.
Yeah, and that's no slight against Villanova or St. Peter's, because both of them clutched out that last fight. Multiple kills coming off of multiple abilities. And it was just in the end, Villanova didn't have enough members left. They didn't have the tanks to stay on point. Obviously, Taiga's on the side popping that tire, and it was just a tiny little baby diva trying to run back to touch that cart in order to keep it going. But it was just wasn't fast enough. The tiny little baby legs couldn't get her there. Oh, unfortunate for Villanova. But I tell you what, we are going to have an interview with Villanova. I'm sorry, with St. Peter's. I know, with St. Peter's on the back end of our break that we are going to be taking right about now. And as promised, we are back in the EGF, brought to you by Intel for the season 3, and we have Sellout coming to you off of the back of that win, 3-1. And Sellout, tell me about how you're feeling right now coming off that win.
Honestly, the team was insanely hype. I'm feeling pretty good. I think the whole team's feeling good. I know, what's it called? Hunter just had a crazy game. I think everyone just had a crazy game today. Hunter had a crazy game. Halston had a crazy game. Nachos had a crazy game today. Everybody was just popping off today.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the synergy, right? Like you guys obviously coming in trying to find a groove again, trying to find your momentum and flow, and you guys seem to find it. Hunter had some really sick antes. You were playing really well on Winston, jumping in when the team needed you to. Not no fear, basically, is what I saw from the team. Tell me a little bit about the build up coming into the game and how you guys were able to execute so well.
On the build up, we don't do a lot of preparation for teams. So the build up was kind of just us making sure we were ready, making sure we practiced, we were warmed up, and we knew what we were getting into. And then the build up starts on, I don't know, map one. We just had like a really crazy like jump on them. Like we were in first on map one, and then we jumped on them, and ever since it just started flowing. And then
Mhm.
it kind of like we were having difficulties in the second map, and then we realized that like dive was really what was gonna beat them, and our dive was just flowing today. So after that, it just all clicked, and it was straight up from there.
Yeah, Time definitely had some mentioning about your guys' dive, and I know he wanted to talk to you about all kinds of
Oh
different
yeah.
stuff here.
So I want to talk about your verticality. You guys
Mhm.
really controlled the z-axis of every single map we played. Unfortunately, Kings Row doesn't have enough of that, and that was one of your main weaknesses.
Mhm.
But going into the latter stages of Hanamura, and honestly, just the entirety of Dorado on both first and second points, tell me how you create that vertical space for yourselves, because that's probably what won you that game. You had the rocket barrage from above, you had so much control later on, especially on your attacking side, when you usually don't have that on the attacker Dorado, especially in the second point.
All the props go to our DPS, Nachos and Ratchet. I think we started fumbling a little bit towards Dorado because we were
Mm-hmm.
jumping them without the poke, and it's what we were doing a lot of Hanamura. We were just having them poke out. We were having them gain control on the Z axis, like you said. We were having them just poke out, spam them out, and then after they back up, that's when we dive. And always the dive was after Hunter or Hunter hit like a massive nade. So it was poke them out, hit a nade, dive them.
Yeah, you guys had a very concrete setup for it, and you specifically just sometimes holding W and pressing shift a single time, able
Oh
to
yeah.
collapse on that. It was insane. Nice job. And then to close out this series, it was your first win since the start of the spring split. How's it feel?
Definitely insane. The with we've had a lot of internal problems, which is why we haven't been doing as great. Like a lot of problems with coaching and players. So to get something like this feels really great actually. I knew
It's
we were
awesome.
gonna get some, so I'm really glad to start here.
Well, I gotta say, we're both extremely happy that you guys found a way to bring it together for this game and this set. It was a banger, and everybody, including us, loved watching it. And I hope you guys bring it again next week. But thank you so much, Sellout. Do you have
Mhm.
anybody you want to shout out before we go?
Yeah, shout out the Valorant team, shout out Jeremy, shout out Will, shout out my boys, shout out XQC. That's it. Oh, 20DX.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you. Have a nice night, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys. That was really
Bye.
great.
Wow. Uh, I think that's the culmination of that series. Is just wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes a single syllable is able to break things down. But it was a clean finish, at least for the St. Peter side. A little unfortunate for Villanova, to say the least, just for the sole reason that they lost. But I gotta say, they took some good outros out of this one. They had some good finishes in at least King's Row. And then building off of that, Hanamura wasn't bad. Neither was Dorado. Just a couple changes, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right, and I can't express it enough how much I enjoyed casting this one with you. This was super dope.
Yeah, it was amazing. For all of you who were not familiar with what the heck is going on, I'm also the one observing and producing this. I was able to fill in. Now that Jesse's coming back, aka Twin Salty, you guys will be back to your regularly scheduled competent casters. I am going to head myself back to the background. I am going to go grab the controller and go back to observing some games. You guys have a nice rest of your night, at least with Jesse and Prepaid. We'll see you guys after the break with Southern Utah and UT Arlington. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Bye bye.